All right, let's talk about reselling in general. What are, in my opinion, the top 5 tools that you will need for your reseller business? Now, there are a lot of niche down types of reselling businesses where the tools can be very specific. Something you may use all the time when you're selling one thing versus something different you'll never need. So I'm going to try to keep this geared to the general broader spectrum. These are the top 5 tools that I think any and every reseller should have or should focus on having or should will probably utilize in their arsenal. Okay, let's go ahead and start with my top 5 choice. This may shock some people. A lot of you may not be expecting it if you're familiar with reselling, but my top 5 is going to be Goo Gone. Okay, Goo Gone is a very safe product to use that will unlikely not harm your product. Okay, I've used Goo Gone on a plethora of items. It's never damaged any of my items. It's great for whether you're purchasing retail arbitrage, whether you are buying clearance items, whether you are purchasing from a yard sale and they put the price tag on it, whether you're purchasing from a thrift store that uses Sharpie to write on the bottom of your items or behind the items, or you just get something kind of funky and icky, right? So Goo Gone is great. It has taken off all of these things, any type of sticky, any type of a very strong price tag, and most Sharpies marks as well, Goo Gone will take off. Not everything, there are some stronger products for that, but you can usually trust that Goo Gone will not harm your items. So for this, I feel like it even works like on sneakers. You put a little Goo Gone on a cotton swab and you can scrub the side of your sneakers, get that white, crisp white back. So I do think Goo Gone is definitely something that I've always used regardless of what I am selling. My top 4 recommended item will be lighting. There's a lot of different ways that you can go here with lighting. Ultimately, it's going to depend on what you sell, your setup, how much space you have. My lighting that I love for a lot of different reasons is umbrella softbox lights. So that's actually what I use now to even film. That's what I use to photograph anything I'm doing, flat lay, background, backdrop, hanging. It doesn't matter what I'm photographing or what I'm using to give like a sharper visual image. These softbox lights have worked great. Umbrella lights are amazing. You may not have a lot of room for that. A lot of people do utilize just a nice little ring light. Ring lights are great, but they're not going to reduce the shadow. So softbox lighting, that actually helps to reduce shadow from your images, which can be a little distracting. And I've seen that with the softbox lighting. It reduces the time that I have to do to maybe edit out backgrounds or shadows or make things a lot clearer or more crisp. So specifically for me, in case you guys are wondering, I use a Limo Studio. So I have a Limo Studio LED. I actually have 2 of these. One of them, my light bulb went out about a year ago. Now I purchased both of these towards the beginning of my reseller career when I was starting to take this serious. And that was probably 7-8 years ago. I would say 7 years ago to be fair. Okay, so about a year ago, so 6 years after, one of my bulbs went out. The other one, the bulb is still going good. So I feel like that's a great investment. And I am going to put up just like a screenshot here. Most of these items, if not all of them actually, you can purchase on Amazon. So I'll put up some screenshots. I'll also put in links in my description box. So if you guys want to click on that link and go view exactly what I'm recommending, what I use. Again, of course, depending on your style of selling, depending on your space, how you photograph, where you photograph, some of these items may not work for you, but I just want to share what works for me. Third on my list. Now, this is a highly recommend. A lot of people may not use this, and I feel like you're missing out if you do not use a thermal printer. A thermal printer is so much faster, so much more cost effective than a regular ink printer. And for the most part, the thermal printers, they start off at about $60. There is a large range that you can purchase. You can purchase some that are wireless. You can purchase some that are USB, some that print from your phone. You can do mobile printing. So there are different large variety of printers. And for $60, and then you just have to buy the rolls. It's very, very, very more cost effective than a regular printer. Ink is super expensive and paper can get expensive. Plus, it's a lot easier to just peel the label and stick it on your package. So when you're talking about time management, this helps a lot. Now, personally, I do currently use a Rollo printer. Do I feel like a Rollo is necessary? Technically, no. I think that there are a lot of great printers out there that people have sworn by up and down. When I first started my reselling career, I purchased a Dymo because I just heard Dymo is the best of the best, and I was just like, wanted the best. And then once my Dymo went out, I realized I didn't really want the Dymo because it was very particular on the labels that it could use, and the labels were very expensive, and I just felt like, you know what, I don't want to have to repurchase a Dymo because those are very expensive. So I went with Rollo, which is kind of up there on like next tier level in comparison to a Dymo. They run about $200. That's like your average price that you can find a Rollo printer, but they're not as particular on labels. So you have a larger range of labels that you're able to use. And so that's something very stress-free. I can just kind of buy the cheapest labels that I can find in bulk, and I love that aspect. And so far my Rollo printer has worked great. But if you're just getting started, you're not really sure yet on this endeavor, maybe you just have a little bit of money, there's a lot of thermal printers out there. Just check Amazon, check the reviews, ask some questions about them. Number 2, this is the second top most important item that I feel like every reseller needs. This is a scale, okay? A digital scale that will weigh, most of them will probably take up to about 50 pounds. I don't necessarily think you need one higher than 50 pounds. The one that I use is Accutech, and that's actually a big fan favorite for a lot of fellow resellers that I have spoken with. Again, this scale I purchased when I started my reselling career. I do not have the plug cord option, which that they do sell this with an option where you can plug it in and just weigh your items. You never have to turn it on and off. Mine is digital. It takes batteries. I push a button to turn it on, and then I weigh the item and I push a button to turn it off. And I've had this again 7 years, so it's worked great. I have dropped it multiple times. I don't recommend testing and dropping your scale to see if it still holds true to its value or not. But I have dropped mine quite a few times. It still works like a champ, and I use this daily. This is something that you really need to weigh out your items so that you know how much to charge for shipping, not to overcharge your buyers, not to undercharge, so you don't have to come out of pocket, so you don't get returned packages. It's very important and necessary for any type of online business that you have some form of scale. My number 1 recommended item that you will need for your online reselling business, it's kind of an umbrella answer, and we will do a narrow down of this in a future video. However, to keep this a little bit easy, the answer for me is packaging supplies. Okay, packaging supplies is very necessary. Now again, this can get very complex because everybody has a unique business, and it really depends on what you are selling, how often you're selling it, how much you're selling, if it's fragile, if it's, the size. Everything matters when it comes to your packaging material. But a general rule of thumb, you need boxes, you need poly bags, okay? Those are your general rule of thumb. You need tape, you need bubble wrap, okay? Maybe not everybody for bubble wrap, but most likely everybody for tape. So I just wanted to break this down really quick because boxes, you can get free priority boxes from USPS.com, okay? If you are shipping through the USPS service and you're shipping priority, whether it's regular priority or priority flat rate, go to USPS.com and you can order all the free shipping supplies that you will need for priority. If you are shipping Ground Advantage or UPS or FedEx, other things, then you will need to purchase your own boxes. Now, I use purchase kind of as a general term because you don't technically have to spend money, okay? I do not buy on a regular basis shipping supplies when it comes to boxes, okay? Because boxes are plentiful all around me, everywhere. Most people order items constantly online, and so I use the friend or family method, where I do have a lot of my friends and family that will collect packages for me, boxes, packing supplies, and I will pick it up from them and I recycle it. This is also a great way that you can even put a Facebook post or any type of social media and say, hey, anybody local, if you have packaging supplies, I'd love to come pick them up. You could also network with your local mom and pop shops. When they get orders and shipments, most of the time they're just going to break down their boxes, put them in the recycling bin. Also, department stores and malls, mall strips, a lot of the times they're getting shipments daily. Find out when they get their shipments and say, you know, if you can come the next day and collect all their boxes. For the most part, they're going to be happy about that because it's less work for them to have to break them down and take them out or anything. And they don't make any money off of it. So it's just, why not let somebody else come pick them up that's going to use them and recycle them. Some cities will even have local dumpsters, but they're specific to boxes, recycling dumpsters, and they'll have a free-for-all to where people can come and dump their recycling boxes and then people can come and pick up. So if you live in an area that is, you know, is a pretty large area, you will have one of these. Just do a little research. Okay. Now, when it comes to other shipping supplies, most of my supplies I get on Amazon. Amazon is so convenient. A lot of sellers on there run sales constantly. I can buy in bulk and I can save quite a bit of money, and I can get it same day, next day, or within 2 days. So it's very quick if you're in a pinch as well. With the separation of bubble wrap, I would recommend not buying your bubble wrap on Amazon. It's very expensive, and if you do the Amazon basics, it's not good quality. I have tried that before. I've tried bubble wrap from a couple different places. Honestly, the best bang for your buck and overall quality is going to be to pick some up from Walmart or Sam's Club. You can get the very large rolls. It's pretty cost efficient as well. Walmart, I not only get my bubble wrap, I also do get my envelopes if I'm going to ship USPS first class standard envelope, whether I'm selling trading cards or anything else that is shippable with a envelope. Walmart has the best prices for the envelopes. I also pick up bread tie bags from Walmart. You can get 100 of them for like $2, and they're just little bread bags. Okay, so they're the plastic bags. They have the little twists on them. You don't have to use a twist. You put your item in the bag and you just put a little tape on it, or you can use a twist. But that's a really, really, really good hack for low cost poly bags. Keep your item protected, keep it looking classy, but not spend a lot of money. Now, if you want the resealable bags, a little bit more of a thicker, higher quality presentation type poly bag, then I order mine in bulk on Amazon. Again, there's a lot of sellers that will sell them in bulk of 500, 1,000, and the price is really good per unit. So check your Amazon. Definitely check when they have sales as well. A lot of the times these sellers are running some sort of sales, so you get an even better discount. And they have coupons, so click the coupons on Amazon also. Okay. So these are my top 5 reseller tools. Again, this is very general to online reselling. There are so many more specifics that you can get into, a lot of things that people probably use. Definitely drop it in the comments down below if there's a tool that I didn't mention that you use all the time, every day in your business, or quite often, that you love, that you swear by. I would love to hear it. I am going to get more specific in this. I'll do another round of this regarding specifically to online selling, and then I will do another round of my top 5 packaging supplies as well. Okay, so thank you guys so much for hanging out. I appreciate you, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.